All right.
Yo.
Here we go.
Cool. How do our levels sound? Good?
Yeah, they sound all right.
Awesome.
E10.
All right, let me pull this a little bit closer. All right, Diesel. Over
Get
here.
it close.
Over here, Diesel. Go lay down.
Get
Go
it
lay down, bud.
close.
Go lay down, bud. Go lay down, bud. All right.
The silent third member, the not so silent third member of the show.
Episode 10.
The yet to be named show.
Yeah. You know, we did record a second episode last time, but we might drop it eventually. It's not that it was like bad. We haven't re-listened to it. For the first half of it, my big thing was my voice was not on my side. So I needed some cough drops, and then I just had like a terrible itch in my throat, and it made it tough getting through some stories. I also teased something that I wound up not doing this past weekend. So it just...
We'll just keep that one in our back pocket.
Yeah. The second half of it, Steve took a personality test.
Yeah.
And
it said shitty.
Yeah, I do
shitty
think
personality.
That maybe for the next one, we should, or at some point in time, we should dig into the personality test thing a little bit. Instead of taking it on the show, we can just prepare to have done them and just like read a little bit of the description and say how accurate we think it is.
Yeah, I think that's the better way to go with it, because for like 45 minutes, it was just me reading questions and answering them. And it wasn't entertaining for me to do. So I don't think it was entertaining to listen to.
It wouldn't be the worst, but it's not, I don't think
but it wouldn't be the
best.
Fun.
No. How about this? We should do like a thing where occasionally if we have like an episode that we don't release, we can say that if you email us, we'll have like an email, we will send you the link to it.
Like a Patreon. We should just make people pay for it.
No, definitely not that for that. Jeez. But I mean, like, because it is content, and some people who like the show might just be like, screw it. If you have another episode, it's not like it's bad. It's just, it's not the funniest. It's not, you know, the second half of it is a little slow. But there are probably interesting parts. I'll re-listen to it if you just send like raw audio of it at some point within the next couple weeks.
I'll send it to you and you can listen to it and see what you think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth
fucking with.
It's not worth calling it episode 10.
No.
This is episode 10.
This is episode 10. Have you thought on a name change yet at all? Today I was thinking about it some.
I've been trying to, dude, and I can't, like,
it's so tough.
It's so hard.
It's
I've done this a few times with bands, trying to think of a band name, and it's like it's one of the hardest things to do is think of a band name or think of a name for anything.
I love thinking of band names, but it's hard to pick one. I'm having trouble for thinking of any podcast name that's even remotely like good.
What about Seamanville?
Yeah.
What about the Bob and Mo show?
Yes.
Cool?
Yes.
Cool with that?
The Bob and Mo?
Yeah, Bob and Mo show.
I like it.
We can play off that. We can
I had like an idea of something that kind of, it's like dude, it's so hard for me to think of examples of even what I was trying to think about today. I had a couple ideas. I'll try and scribble some down and we'll go over it next time maybe.
The thing is, like, when you try and think about it is when that's like the hardest thing to do. It's like thinking of a name of a person you just met and trying to tell somebody about it, and then it hits you the next day.
Right. Definitely, man.
It's like lightning. It's just got to strike you.
Yeah, it's so hard to figure out. Like, I think, because this is kind of like we're kind of fringe in everything. Like, it's not so serious, but it's not so shock jockey. It's not so this. It's just kind of like it's a hangout talk show, but then at times it might be like very topical. So we just got to think of just. We'll brainstorm. It's boring to just sit here and not actually think of anything and just talk about it. So.
And not have ideas to show up.
Yeah, and we do have other stuff we can talk about. We have a couple things in this episode. Last time we talked about embarrassing things. I don't know if we want to jump right into that.
No. We shouldn't. We should save that.
Yes.
Because I got a couple things I could bring
Yes,
up.
let's do it.
Well, actually, the first thing I wanted to talk about, which it's not so much of a topic, more of an observation, is I was at Highs on my way home from work today to come back here. And there was a dude wearing cargo shorts, but he had his phone on a fucking clip.
Oh, man.
Isn't that like counterintuitive?
It's that's a lot. Yeah, that totally defeats the purpose.
Exactly. You have the extra pockets on your sides.
Yeah.
And you're just putting your shit on your hip.
I am waiting for cargo shorts to be cool again because I just can't give it up.
Do you wear cargo shorts?
Oh, I wear fucking cargo shorts, dude.
Really?
I've worn them in here.
Why?
I like them. They have pockets.
Yeah, but what are you putting in there?
My wallet, my phone, my keys.
Okay, all that shit fits in 4 pockets.
Pen. But I have like big thighs, so if I wear like things that are tighter, it's obnoxious. My pockets stick way out. I have stuff in every fucking pocket.
That's telling. I don't know of what, but it's telling.
So you think cargo shorts are an absolute not?
Yes. 100%.
I do cargo shorts and flip-flops, dude.
Camo?
No. They're like darker. They're usually black or like dark gray cargo shorts.
I'm not on board with the cargo.
I don't own a pair of shorts that are like khaki or like that material that don't have pockets. Like don't have the side pockets.
Dude, get a pair of chinos.
What is that?
It's just like a straight leg short. Just 4 pockets. That's all you need.
Man, can I wear a fanny pack with it? Yeah. That's lamer than the cargo shorts.
No, well, it's lame now because it's like a stupid hipster thing to do.
I just like convenience. I like whatever makes the most sense to me. Like for the longest time, I was walking around in toe shoes.
Aren't you wearing them right now?
They're not actual toe shoes, but they're minimal shoes. They're the same style, but they don't have the individual toe cutouts.
What's a minimal shoe? Like
a minimalist, like that has like no sole to it, no sponginess. It's a wide toe box, so your feet can kind of spread out. It's kind of like a barefoot shoe. Yeah, I mean, do you want me to take my shoe off?
No.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
it kind of looks like
it's a wide toe box,
like a ninja. Like
how
a ninja
obnoxious
boot.
Is this? Does this look weird to you? In shorts, it's not the worst, maybe.
The only thing that looks weird about it is that there's individual ridges for your toes.
I don't understand why they did that. Everything else looks okay about it. If it had like a flatter front to it.
I will say that the toe shoes in general, the original toe shoes, those are obnoxious. These aren't that bad.
So the toe shoes I have look exactly like this, except they have toe cutouts.
Yeah, that's
the Vibram ones.
That's obnoxious. These wouldn't be bad if they didn't have the slices.
I know it makes it look like a clown shoe in the front a little.
Yeah.
But these were cheap. These are fine.
No, they just kind of look like water shoes.
They make some nicer brand ones like Zero is a brand. There's a couple brands that maybe Innovate has some like minimal barefoot shoes. I like them. I like the wide toe box part of it too. On top of it, but
I thought you were supposed to have arch support.
No, well, I mean, you're supposed to have a strong arch to begin with. So here's the problem with a tennis shoe. I don't know about whether or not arch support is the issue. This doesn't have no arch support, but you can also put an insert in it that does have like a firm arch support.
Okay.
What you don't want is a really big sponge where your feet can just kind of go any direction they'd like to. You would like to have your feet naturally sit flat to the ground. So, everyone wears like spongy shoes out different ways.
Yeah.
So like some people sit to the outside of them. That's going to encourage you to continue doing what you do tenfold because you're going to wear your shoe out to make you do your kind of like it kind of makes your weaknesses even weaker. And Because if you have a tendency to step to the outside of your foot and you wear that part of your shoe out a lot, then that shoe is going to encourage you to walk even more that way.
Yeah.
And another problem is the wide toe
it's
box.
like a trainer.
Yeah. So like when you have all your like the way a shoe is shaped at a point in the front, it smushes your toes in together. So it can create hammer toes. It can make you not have like individual toe strength at all. And the big problem with like a running shoe that has like a cushion under the heel is that it encourages you to heel strike. So, I mean, I do jujitsu, which is a barefoot sport, MMA fighting. It's a barefoot sport.
Yeah.
I'm into the strength and conditioning. I had some ankle, toe, and foot issues that I literally have pretty much solved. Like, I don't think anyone would say I have a distinct problem at all there, whereas maybe 2 years ago they would.
So the toe shoes have legitimately helped you in that?
It's raised my flat feet considerably.
Oh, you have flat feet.
Yeah. And then another thing it's done is it's spread my toes out. I used to not be able to dig in. Like, imagine if you were on all fours or like, and your feet are on the ground. I used to not be able to sit with my toes digging into the ground. I used to have to sit with like the top of my foot on the ground. So when I would be wrestling and I'd have one foot back.
Like this?
Yes.
Like if this...
I would rub off the tops of my toes on the mat sometimes.
Instead of digging in with your toes?
Yeah, I just couldn't support it. I had no strength there.
Wow.
I know. And so that's the other problem about the shoe is like a shoe that pushes all of your toes together, and the individual toe shoes really helped me with this too, was it allows your toes to strengthen individually. Now, I did a lot of stretches, a lot of strengthening exercises, and it was not without its growing pains, dude. Like when I first started running in them, my calves were like obnoxiously sore, and I kind of got like some weird ankle stuff. I don't know if I sprained it striking or if it was from the shoes and just trying to strengthen an area where it wears it out. But I have come out on the other side, and I will say I'm glad I went through that fucking journey, dude, because I have way better feet, a way better balance. I drive better in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like it used to make me have no ability to drive into somebody when I'm wrestling them. So I don't know, dude. And certain yoga things, like there's just certain things where you're sitting up on your toes that I just couldn't do. And now I can do forever.
Now you can. Thanks to toe shoes.
Yeah. So that's the toe shoe thing. We were talking about cargo shorts. Oh yeah. So what, was there something else you,
no, that was it really. I just saw that and I thought it was really weird.
We should tease what's happening at the end of the show before we get into the embarrassing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Anything else.
If you're a devout listener to the show, and even if you're not, what was it, like back in March or something? There was some controversy with another local talent.
Yeah.
That was
started in late February, mid February.
Yeah. You can go back and listen to the first episode.
Oh, but our first episode, whenever that released.
Yeah, our first episode.
Maybe in...
It was like a week or two.
June? Did our first episode come out in June?
Nah, I think it was like... It might have been June.
Yeah, episode 1, we teased where...
Yeah, just listen to that and you'll figure it out. You'll hear the whole backstory and all this shit.
The 30-second version was, there's a guy I know from the comedy scene, has a podcast. They had seen that I had been playing guitar and singing and putting videos on my Instagram, Facebook, and he had just essentially just talked about how terrible it was, and so much so that he thought it was a put on, that he thought it was like fake, and it was just so ungodly. It was unfathomable for him to even figure out what I was doing, if it was for real, and why I would ever do that. Essentially, it was like a disbelief sort of thing. Which
I honestly, I don't think it was coming. I'm a little tired of talking about the subject, but I don't think it was coming from a mean-spirited place.
No.
I think it was coming from like an inquisitive
It's
place.
The nature of him to kind of, he likes to do, like, the comedian Ricky Gervais, how he burns everybody. I mean, Joe's not as smug as that. Like, that guy is the extreme European, like, sophisticated. Like Joe's definitely not that, but he definitely has this kind of way about him that, yes, it makes sense that he would say that about me. And there was nothing really that bad. It's just, of course, I'm going to put him in it's just, I'm willing to go there times a million. So when somebody goes there with me, that's just my nature.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was just you firing back.
Yeah, I got into it with a dude at the gym this weekend.
About what? Your music?
Well, we were at a bonfire the night before. No, but this just explains the way I am in a way. Like, we're at a bonfire and he was a little drunk and he was just being obnoxious and kind of like talking shit a little bit. Like he was joking that, if somebody comes up and they're not actually trying to say they could kick your ass, but they're like, come on, man, or I could do this, or it's all stupid. So I could tap you.
Does he know what you do?
He's goes to method.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there's a commonality right there.
Yes.
Off the bat.
And he was just joking, like, what do you think would happen if we fought, huh? And he's like smacking my arm and he was being obnoxious to other people. It was honestly when he was doing it to other people that it triggered me the most, because I do pick on the guy like as like an older brother type sometimes. So it doesn't bother me that he was being like that, but he started kind of doing some stuff that I thought was a bit too far. And
with you or with other people?
With other people too. There was like a couple that were dating and they hadn't really made it official that they were dating at the gym yet. So he was like blowing up their spot. Like, why haven't you told anybody yet, huh? When are you going to tell everybody? Are you guys like engaged? Like he was just
How old is this guy?
It doesn't matter. He's a nice guy, dude. He just was extremely drunk. I'm not going to throw him on.
Okay.
He is a good guy in a lot of ways. He just was drunk and he was being an idiot.
Yeah.
So all I kept telling him was, hey man, you're going to have to roll us eventually. You're going to have to
yeah, and that shit's going to come back.
Yeah. So it'd be like if I was talking shit to Michael Jordan, telling him all the moves I could do. Like, you think you could actually dunk on me?
I'll dunk on you, bitch.
Yeah, of course he's going to beat me in basketball. He's going to air out on you. Why not? Why wouldn't he do that? Like, of course he's going to do that. It's not even like he's doing any sort of abuse to do it. He could do that anytime he wants to begin with. So we're at the gym and and he walks in and I go, hey, warm up around and then you're rolling with me. And he's like agreeing to it. He's like, okay. And then after the round's up, I look over and he's trying to roll with somebody else. I say to the other guy, I say, Pete, don't roll with him. I'm rolling with him. Like, we just said we're going to roll. He goes, well, I don't have to roll you. And I'm like, the fuck you don't, dude. Like after last night, you're lucky all I'm doing is rolling you. This is the easy option.
So this is the day after the drunken experience. Okay.
So, and then I was like, well, if you're not going to roll me, I was like, I ought to just smack you across your face for what you did. Cause I'm not going to do nothing. And he's like, why don't you? He goes, well, then smack me. So I started going over to smack him. And then it wasn't that bad. I don't know. People got in between, but another dude at the gym. This is ridiculous. Now, I love the other guy, but he's got a little bit of a temper and he had my back and he doesn't like the guy that I'm talking about. So
yeah,
I don't want to give names. So if it's hard to follow, you'll figure it out in a second. The guy who had my back calls him out the next round. He goes, so you ready to roll him? And he has an attitude.
Talking about like
to
you.
that guy to me.
Yeah.
About
okay,
me.
okay.
Like, are you
like
ready
the
to
third
roll with
party
Mike?
saying like
standing up for me, being like, why are you ducking him? And we do have a rule at the gym. If a higher belt calls you out to roll, you have to. I'm a purple belt. He's a blue belt. If I tell him to roll, we're rolling.
Oh.
And the guy who runs Sunday even told him to, dude, he just got nervous. He was on the spot. He didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, he's a little hungover and
all eyes on us.
Yeah.
He knows what's going to happen.
Because a call out, everybody's going to be like, come in and circle around.
And of course I knew that.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to blow up his spot.
Yeah.
Of course I did. Because later he goes, it's like you were attacking my character. That's why. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were fucking doing.
I'm just showing you your character. I'm not changing anything. I'm not even telling them what you said or did. I'm just telling you I need to do something.
Yeah.
For what you did.
You saw what he did the night before, and you need to put him in his place for that shit.
Now, if this guy hears this, the guy I'm talking about, I love him to death. And I think that he was in the right to like say something, but I think he snapped a bit and it became more about what he thinks of this person we're talking about and like not liking him and less to do with the fact that he wouldn't roll me. So check this out.
Hold on. Let me recap. So you're the guy that you said that you really like is the guy who said, "Yeah, you're gonna roll Mike." He's the
I
third,
like them both,
the third person that said, like, no, you're not doing this over here. You're coming over and rolling with Mike.
I respect the hell out of this guy, dude, because jiu-jitsu is not something that comes overly natural to him. He's probably could do a lot of things that he'd be better at. This is the guy that stood up for me and is trying to get this guy to roll me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So,
the third person in the situation, the one that's saying,
hey,
no, you're not doing this over here. You're coming over with Mike and you're doing that. This is the guy.
And he goes, well, if you're not going to roll him, well, then roll me. That's what he says, dude. So I'm like, oh my God. Here's the problem. The guy who was being a dick the night before is actually really tricky with jiu-jitsu. And it's annoying because he doesn't put in all the work sometimes. And that's what pisses this guy off.
Just kind of like a natural talent.
It's like a little bit of wasted potential in there. And this guy the guy who stood up for me has been grinding for years longer than me.
Yeah.
And he knows a lot about jiu-jitsu. He's a great drilling partner. But when it comes to smacking hands and rolling, sometimes he gets in his own head.
Is it older dude?
A little older than me. Yeah. And he's in his mid-40s, so he's not as quick, and he's a bigger guy, and he's not the most flexible. He gets a little tense at times, but he knows a lot about jiu-jitsu. He probably knows more than me in a lot of ways. So he's a dude. He's a firefighter. He's a badass dude. He started off because he was going to do an MMA match in one of those firefighters versus cop things.
Oh,
so he's a legit dude. It's just jiu-jitsu is a slower process for him than some people, where you do have guys that you'll see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let's get on to the story. I know we've clarified.
We've bored all of our listeners through that, but it gets good, dude, because the guy who stood up for me gets to roll him and he starts smashing him and he says, huh? He goes, are you tired now? And I'll just call him Jake. Are you tired now, Jake? Are you tired now? And Jake's just on the bottom in what's called his guard, and he's kind of just chilling, and then he reverses the position, so he's on top.
So wait, the dude who stood up
for me gets on top of the other guy and starts talking to him like, are you tired, huh? Are you tired? And he's smashing into him. Well, he's getting an adrenaline rush, so he's actually the one who's about to get tired, and the other guy reverses him and gets on top. And he has him in the worst position. It's a top mount. And he starts going for attacks on top. And he goes, huh? What are you going to do? And I'll call this guy Steve. I know you're Steve.
So, I'm Steve. But Jake's the guy
who talks shit at the party.
And Steve
stood up
is the guy who stood up. Okay.
They're both blue belts.
Okay, just trying to clarify that because I got a little lost in all that.
But this is the part of the story that it does for a moment get funny. Like, despite for the fact that I feel bad for them both in a way, this part is absolutely hilarious. So this large man who's built like me is going against this dude who's probably smaller, a lot smaller than you, kind of skinnier, doesn't look very imposing. Steve looks built.
Steve's the large man.
Yes.
Jake's the small man.
Is the small man.
All right. Okay.
And Steve is on top talking trash. And then Jake reverses it. And this is what Jake says to Steve. And Jake's a lot younger. Jake's like 23.
Yeah.
Steve's 44. And Jake starts talking trash. He goes, huh? He goes, what are you going to do, Steve? What are you going to do, Steve? Huh? You big fucking pussy? What are you going to do? Oh. Could you imagine being the other guy who just like called out that guy in front of the gym?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to whoop up on you, and all of us are watching, and he gets reversed.
Then gets reversed and then gets called a pussy?
Yeah, dude.
What
so
happened?
He gets pissed. So they kind of like break away.
Did he fucking clock him?
He stood up and he points at him. He goes, why don't we fucking go outside and finish this shit or something? Like wanting to go outside. And then that's when Kevin, the guy who runs it, got right in between them. And then more shit happened. I wound up saying some stuff to Jake, and it doesn't matter, but it's just, I know I said all that just to explain the way I am about shit, standing up for stuff, but it is a funny story that happened.
Yeah.
And there's more to it. I don't want to spend any more time, but just imagine like a very physically imposing person, like a firefighter, strong dude, 240 maybe, 235, and the other guy's like a scrawnier. He probably only looks like a $175. I think he's a little heavier than that. He's got a little extra weight around his like love handle area,
Yeah.
But he looks like 170 pounds, and he looks kind of not imposing,
and just
and then everyone's watching, and he's sweet. That's the thing about jiu-jitsu, dude. It can be not about it's demoralizing.
It's not about the strength or size.
Yeah, not always. That's for damn sure. And this guy's tricky. That's the thing. So it doesn't matter. I know that we should just go back to the Joe stuff and wrap that up.
Hold on. It's actually funny you bring that up because, well, it seems like you bring that up every episode. But I was actually thinking that something that would be maybe not funny, but entertaining. Because I was listening back to episode 9, just with like the editing process and shit. And I thought it would be kind of good content if a white belt's the beginning.
Yes.
If I went up against a white belt.
That would definitely be, that'd be fun.
If we videoed it.
Yeah. Dude, that's exactly what I did on Color Me Bloody, the MMA podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I rolled Alex because he was a blue belt, and I tapped him once.
Oh, really?
I choked him. Yeah, but I knew a lot about jiu-jitsu before I started.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
And he tapped me. It was like one match went to a decision, like a draw. One match I choked him, and one match he might have choked me or got me in an arm lock. I forget what.
Because you were saying that like you could be a white belt for 2 years or something, right?
Yeah. So like going against a good white belt.
I don't want to go against like a 2-year white belt. Maybe like a 7-month white belt.
I
think I could not do well, but I think I could hold my own.
Oh, you could probably hold your own against anybody who's been doing it a year. Who isn't insanely athletic. Like, the thing about it is, like you say, it's not about strength. You're right, but it can be. You just need to use your advantage appropriately. If you have an advantage, you have an option.
Yeah.
But you need one advantage. You need to be better at something.
Yeah.
You need to use your size. You need to use your skill. You need to use something that you do better than them. It could be as simple as I'm better at getting my arm under yours and like your armpit than you are me.
Yeah.
I have stronger head pressure. You've got to just take one thing and dominate with it and then set stuff up with it.
Yeah. I was thinking like if Method was cool with it.
They would definitely do it, dude.
If we could set something like that up.
Yeah, you should probably do it like this. Like go against a white belt, and then you should go against a higher belt just to feel it. It's not dangerous.
Yeah.
They're not going to hurt you.
I just don't want to snap an arm.
No. There's more of a chance of that honestly happening against a white belt. But it's so slim. I mean, I've never seen that happen in the gym.
I know. That's like my own fears coming back.
Most people
just seeing like the movements and stuff. That's why I never wrestled in high school, is because of legs breaking and arms breaking and shit like that. But I like after last week's episode, I just thought about that, and I thought that'd be a cool thing to do if we like videoed it and put it up on YouTube or something. I don't know if it'd be something that people would watch, but I thought it'd be something that could be a semi-draw of shit to do.
I almost sparred a heavyweight kickboxer. I would have got knocked out if he wanted to in like 10 seconds.
For kickboxing?
I was going to kickbox spar him.
Why?
I wanted to do it. It would be like fun for the show. I don't know. I wanted to see what it was like.
Oh, you wanted to do it for the show?
For Color Me Bloody.
I
just wanted to, just like I rolled Alex, but the one guy talked me out of it. Like we had a fighter on.
That wouldn't have been
that's
good.
A really bad idea. Like you're a heavyweight. Like if you come at somebody hard and hit them hard, or like even and they want to make you pay.
Isn't like the mentality with fighters that if you're just sparring and you hit them soft, then they're going to go soft. But if you hit them hard, then they're coming at you because like a switch just goes.
It is so hard. You're at somebody's mercy sparring in a way that you were not when you were just rolling around on the ground. When you're actually like striking and punching and kicking, dude, like number one, what keeps them from kicking you in the leg hard?
Yeah.
Just
nothing.
being nice. They can kick you in the leg. It's not going to hurt you.
The only thing that keeps them from doing that is their conscience.
Right. And if you act like you're going tough, and then they have a decision too. Let's say you get tired. Do they want to teach you a lesson and put it on you because you're tired and you need to know what it's like?
Yeah, and they're like, fuck this guy. Welcome to the big leagues,
Sparring
bitch.
somebody better than you is basically you're at mercy for them to teach you any lesson they want to teach you.
Yeah.
Dude, sparring is a whole nother ball game. It is way, way different, and it is way scarier if you've never done it. That guy that I was going to spar would very well toast me now, let alone back then.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been insane. He was like a actual competing kickboxer, a heavyweight. Like, I would have had no chance except for like maybe one punch right in the beginning, but that would have only been to land. We would have had 16-ounce gloves. I probably wouldn't have. It would have been no chance, dude.
No. He would have fucked you up.
Like less than 1 in 100 would I even land a good shot, and that's if he was being nice. Because I do have like anyone can land a punch maybe, but once you start getting hit,
yeah,
if you're
all
not comfortable, almost nobody comes in able to take shots. And you see some tough guys, like people who test the waters from jiu-jitsu.
No, dude, we've talked about this before. Getting hit in the nose. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
It sucks.
That's a fucking saying for a reason.
Yeah, the first time I was in a real hard sparring round, I had only sparred twice, and then I said I wanted to sign up for a fight. I got my blue belt actually 3 years ago the other day. I signed up for a fight, having never done
MMA
striking.
fight.
Yeah, dude.
You sparred twice,
and then but I did a whole training camp. But I signed up, and I had just over 3 months. And I did pretty much all striking in those 3 months.
Fuck that,
and then I had so I was going to go against a guy who was a blue belt who had minimal striking experience. He backed out, and I had to go against his teammate who was undefeated.
Is that the guy that suplexed you?
Yeah. Not his replacement did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The replacement guy did.
Yeah, the replacement dude suplexed me a couple times, but I did land a punch right off the bat that floored him.
I mean, regardless, that's impressive. I mean, just stepping into the fucking...
My first punch I ever threw almost knocked a guy out in MMA. It was like 4 seconds in, dude. His butt hit the canvas and he flopped back. That was a cool moment.
Yeah.
But he pretty much dominated once he got out of the choke because he ran into a choke after that, kind of just like blindly, and got under my punch. So, yeah. We should just wrap up what we did at the end. I play guitar at the end because we talked about it earlier. Now, we might as well just talk about it now instead of later. We don't have to talk about it much, but that was your first time ever seeing me and hearing me play. Now, if you would have just been told a year and a half ago, I started playing guitar,
Yeah.
And now I'm here, would you be like, God damn, he's like, what would you think?
No, it wasn't terrible. The guitar playing was good. The singing wasn't terrible, but that's like,
yeah,
singing's hard.
Oh, it just takes time.
Yeah, and I, coming from an audio background, I firmly believe you're born with the natural ability to sing well.
Yeah.
You can there's steps you can take to be a better singer, but to be a great singer, you're born with that.
Right.
That's a natural talent.
Now, I know he was probably talking a lot about my singing. He was referring to me playing guitar, though. He didn't say, but it was me doing cover songs that he was talking about. Yeah, I know the singing is definitely a tough thing, and I put a lot more work into it, even than my guitar playing a lot, but it just seems to be a much slower progress. It's definitely something I'm going to have to work for to get decent at, for sure. More, like another 6 months to a year.
Singing or guitar?
Singing.
Oh, yeah. Probably more than a year.
Dude, I put a lot of work in. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
But like singing's not guitar. You can learn chords on a guitar and put them in order. Singing's hard.
I got you, dude. I know, but I believe that what I read about it, and I believe that the people who are coaches and say the things that they do, and All of them say you can teach yourself how to sing. And the most common thing I read is most people with very deep voices who are naturally bass baritones need to teach themselves how to sing more times than not.
Yeah.
And it just takes time, but you know, you just slowly get better. And I'm playing guitar and singing at the same time. If I was to sing separately,
that in itself is a pretty good feat. That's a pretty good obstacle that you've overcome, because I can't do it, and I've been playing bass for, well, I can't say that I've been playing it.
Yeah.
But I've had a bass for over 12 years.
Yeah.
And I can't consciously sit down and play the bass and then sing to it. If I'm in a band and I'm playing the song in the band, then subconsciously I'm singing the words out loud. But if I start thinking about it, then I fuck up.
Right. And
that is, I'll give you that. That's a fucking hard thing to do. And that's a hard obstacle to overcome.
Rhythmically, it can be tough.
To keep time and rhythm on the guitar and play on top of that. I mean, and sing on top of that. That is hard.
Yeah. But I mean, the fact that it definitely is not as it sounded, as far as like, if you would have just heard what he said.
It's a good, not even 2 years?
Not 2 years, no.
Yeah, for where you started to where you are now is a pretty good progression.
It was like a week before New Year's. Like, so New Year's this year. And I do other shit. I learn a lot of other stuff in the time. I had no singing experience, dude. Singing was god awful.
Yeah.
Then. And I'll give him this. I have gotten better since then.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can, like you said, you can only get so much better at singing. You can only get so, and I only practice so much. And I do a lot of, for the longest time, I did a lot of lead playing. Like I know the neck of the guitar in lead, which doesn't do a lick of good for rhythm guitar.
No.
So I know a lot of like, that takes time to learn. So I've spent originally more than half of my time learning lead. And then rhythm and singing was just something I did for fun when I did all my normal practice.
Yeah.
Cause that's like all like the self-taught side, whereas Steve Kirk helped me out with, you know, learn the modes, learn these arpeggios, and then learn like the different keys and
you have to learn
pentatonic scales. I know all that.
Yeah. You have to learn the notes, and you have to learn key.
Yeah.
Especially, and just where to play and when to play it.
So
it's not a fucking easy thing to do. It really isn't. I mean, you can, and this isn't like a knock on Joe or whatever, but outside looking in, you look at a guitar and you're like, oh yeah, I think I could play that. Until you fucking sit down and try and actually understand what's going on, there's a lot that's happening, and it is not an easy thing. Because there's 6 strings going on and a whole bunch of different fingerings.
Yeah. Well, yeah, dude, it's so much because it's tough. You're doing 2 different things with each hand, and there's so much sensitivity in a guitar, and it's so hard to play soft, and then you're singing. So there's all this tension. It's hard to sing with carrying tension in your arms and your, but the problem, this is my least favorite thing, and I don't want to make this an attack on Joe because I said way more than enough to him, but just I think he falls under the false sense of what holds a lot of people back from doing what they could do and accomplishing a lot is thinking that they suck at stuff they've never put work into doing as things they could never do. It's like the people who I've gotten really strong and have made big strength and conditioning accomplishments. They were people who, before they stepped foot in the gym, never saw themselves as even coming close to being the candidate to be able to do that stuff. They thought of themselves as weak, non-athletic, a lot of that stuff.
So that being said, we'll say here and now that Joe Robinson, you got free guitar lessons from Mike.
Like, I will give him that my voice is not, when I say I'll get good at singing, I'm going to get good at singing in that I'm going to creatively find something that works for me. And it might sound like the Violent Femmes or something, or like something where it's off, but not.
Yeah.
I'm eventually going to have like a tone that works. I'm going to stay in key better.
Or who's Mike Watts or Mike
You know
Waits?
him, that bass, Tom Waits?
Tom Waits. Yes.
There is a guy named Mike Watt who's like a bass player and a singer.
Yeah, I know Mike Watt, but I was thinking of
Tom Waits.
Tom Waits, yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I think of bands like the Butthole Surfers,
Smudhole Turfers.
Yeah, I mean any kind of thing that's a little punk rock. I definitely have like a rougher voice, so like that kind of stuff meets something a little grungy. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. Yeah. But I know the possibilities there, and I've only gotten better, so I think I'll only continue to get better.
Well, I mean, regardless of what anybody says about what you're doing, as long as you're having fun with it and you're progressing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's honestly, especially with music, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, like a lot of the people who play guitar who I talk to, and you even hear this in jiu-jitsu, it's not about who's best, it's about who's left in the end.
Yeah.
It's who keeps going.
Yeah.
It's who's still standing.
Yeah, as long as you keep plugging through, because
unless you're like borderline, like mentally retarded or something. I mean, or have like a really obvious, like something that's going to keep you from doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing obvious except for my voice will never be good in a pop sense or like a singing teacher sense probably. But other than that, there's nothing that distinctly makes you think that I couldn't. But I think he might think that people who aren't naturally good at things right away don't have the ability to do it. And that's what drives me to do most of these things and put it out there, is because I want to show people that I suck at something and get better at it. It's not about just being good at stuff.
Yeah.
And I love that part of the process. I don't just love the goal at the end. I love when I go against the guy who's better than me at jiu-jitsu and he smashes me. You love learning, you love winning, you don't love losing, but you love getting to learn and getting better because of it.
Yeah, and as cliche as it is, losing is also a part of the fucking process.
Yeah, you either win or you learn.
Yeah.
If you keep going. If it doesn't break you, you only get tougher, stronger, smarter as a result of all that.
There's plenty of fucking Instagram quotes that you can find that'll solidify that.
Yeah. So we did that at the end. So we're good on that. We can, do you want to tell an embarrassing story or two still? Because I thought of a funny one.
Well, because you've been teasing me for like the past 2 days about this one embarrassing story that you have.
I think it's definitely one of the more embarrassing moments of my life. And I think it's about as funny as the dad smacking my leg,
quote unquote leg. Yeah. All right. Well, then I'll kick it off, and it'll be the ramp up into the finale. Because mine aren't terrible, but nobody witnessed them, but they were still fucking embarrassing. So I have two stories. Technically I have three. Two kind of fall under the same category. So the first one is I was attending a sleepaway camp, and it was like pickup day.
Okay.
And it was the start of a very bad stomach bug on my part. And while everybody was congregated down at this one area, I freaking diarrheaed in my khakis. Shit my pants. Full blown shit my pants.
Damn.
Like running down the back
what age?
Of the legs. Probably 5th grade.
Okay.
Damn. And
people knew?
No.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
You never told anyone?
But see, well, I've obviously told people.
Oh, no. Okay, when it happened.
No. See, that's the thing. That's why I said it's not like embarrassing in the fact that everybody saw.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing in the fact that, like, it was a moment of panic and I didn't know what to do and I had to figure this out.
Oh, man.
So
Drink. Dude, I was listening to podcasts today, and like in one episode I listened to it, they said figuring it out or like figure it out 3 different times.
What was it?
It was a Joe Rogan episode with this guy. He's a comedian. I forget which. I can't think of his name. It doesn't matter. It was like a one and done guy, or he's only been on there one time, but it was a comic.
Is that a rule? Is that a new rule we're starting?
What's that?
Figuring out.
Yeah, it's a drinking game.
Okay.
But we'll start it next
until we change the name.
Yeah.
So I did that. I did that. I shit my pants at this camp. And then, like I said, it was the start of a stomach bug. And then a couple days later, I went over a friend's house. And it was like a sleepover type deal. So then the next morning, about 2 hours before everybody's parents were going to show up, I shit my pants again.
What?
Yeah. Luckily.
Well, but you had diarrhea.
Yeah. And it was, like I said, dude, it wasn't just like a little accident. It was like you have to throw these pants away type deal.
Damn.
So I had my bag and just kind of like turned my back to everybody and like snuck along the wall type deal and went into the bathroom, rolled my khakis up, put them in another shirt, and then stuffed them in the bottom of the bag.
So nobody
ever knew. That's what I say. It's not like it's not technically embarrassing because nobody saw it.
Yeah.
But fuck if it wasn't a hard time to try and figure out.
This goes well with my story.
I got another one.
Okay, do you want to go first? I don't care.
Yeah, I want to get mine out of the way because you've built this one up.
I know it's not that great, but it's still good.
Yeah, but I don't think mine are going to compare.
Okay.
So then the third story is back when I was like 18, 19 years old. And this kind of, I'll say this right off the bat, it kind of follows along the same theme of shitting the pants and nobody sees it.
Yeah.
So nobody saw this, but it was one of those things where I had to like think on my feet and figure it out. Once again,
figure it out.
Drink. I was dating this girl and I was working at a restaurant. At the time, she was watching her younger brother and sister. I showed up to her house like probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and fell asleep on the couch with a blanket over top of me and had a fucking wet dream on the couch.
Damn. Oh, man.
I woke up like 2 hours later, just...
I don't think I've ever had one of those.
You've never had a wet dream?
Not that I can recall.
Seriously?
No, I can never recall just like waking up with cum in my pants or my short or boxers or whatever. Never knowingly. No.
What do you mean never knowingly?
Like I can't say that I've never done it, but I've never I can't say that I've never came in my sleep, but I've never found the evidence. I don't think I've ever done it.
So then you've never done it.
Well, I mean, I guess you could come on your blankets or on your skin and you move around and it kind of, I don't know what. I'm just saying I've never experienced it.
The cleanup is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And I woke up and kind of looked down and saw like a wet spot. I'm like, oh man. And if you've ever had a wet dream, you know you're having a wet dream. You wake up a little bit after it happened, and you know it happened.
Really? Did you feel like something sexual happened?
Dude, a wet dream is the most powerful orgasm you've ever had.
Really?
Yes.
And like you wake up mid-orgasm or like after the orgasm part, or you just know that you just...
Cummed your pants.
Okay.
Pretty much. you just know.
We need to get a wet dream expert on the podcast.
I think. Yeah.
I got a buddy who's really into tantric sex. I think we talked
about that.
It
was like
on the podcast.
Yeah, that dude probably knows all about wet dreams because he's just bound the fuck up.
He knows a lot about that. He knows a lot about acid. He's a vegan. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we'll have him on the podcast. I don't know him that well, but he definitely talks about that. Do you want me to tell you my story?
Sure.
Okay.
I aired my laundry out because my on the last
dirty
episode,
laundry.
Yeah, really, actually, legitimately, because on the last episode, my embarrassing stories were kind of fucking weak, and then it took me a week to like remember that shit.
Okay, so I remember
Here we go.
And I was at the girl I dated when I was like 21, turning 22. I was probably just turned 22, and she didn't move out yet because we lived together when she moved out.
Is this
the mom?
Is this the one I helped you move from?
Yes.
No.
No, you helped me move when I moved out from a roommate thing.
Yeah, that was a different thing.
Yeah,
so
it
nurse?
I moved there when I moved out with the nurse. Yeah, it was the nurse.
Okay,
I told the story about the pepper in my tooth.
Yes,
the cavity thing.
Yes.
As a story last time. So it's the same girl. And we were at her like parents' house where she lived there at the time. And we're fooling around on this couch they have downstairs. And next thing you know, and we even mentioned this about the park and ride oh my God, it's because remember I said we were hanging out at the parking lot before she went to work. And this is a similar story because next thing you know, she is on her knees and going down on me. And, we go through the whole process. When it's over, I didn't have a wet dream. I had a wet awake. And I get done, pull my pants up, and I stand up.
Wait, you're outside of the car?
We're on a couch. We're inside the house.
I thought you said you were parking.
No. I said on the last. Okay, I should have been clear.
Yeah.
On the last episode, I told a story where she mentioned it, but coincidentally, it was. Remember, I said she probably gave me a blowjob or something. That's why we were where we were at. It was in the earlier stages. Well, I don't know when it was, but it was early-ish stages before we lived together. So the first 8 months, year or so that we were dating. And dude, I stand up and she goes, "Oh my God, is that from you?" And I look and there is a fucking skid mark on her parents' antique white couch.
No way.
I swear, dude. Like this, obviously, like just like a strip. Not like actual
like
shit.
Someone
like
took a Hershey bar and just went
like a faint like if you washed it up after somebody stained it with chocolate. It'd be like if you just took a wet paper towel and like wiped up shit that was on like I mean it just dyed it a little, but dude, yes. Do you know how I felt when, oh man.
How do you end up in these situations?
I don't know, dude. Life just gives me some good shit sometimes.
Oh my God. So what did you say or do?
I was like, I didn't think I did it, but it had to be me. I didn't deny it. I was like, it's
Blame
not
it on
like
the
I
dog
pooped
or something.
I immediately just like, I know this sounds really terrible, but I think like instinctually, I just kind of like put my hand in my ass a little, and I was like, no, I don't. But I'm like, yeah, it has to be. And I was like, maybe I was like sweating a little, or or like they spread open a little bit, and you just like rub. Well, here's the thing though, like you shouldn't have to defend that. As far as how it could happen, but it still is weird.
Yeah, it's natural.
Hey, anybody who's wore white underwear before knows if a white pair of underwear can last like 10 wears without getting like
then you're
any
solid.
Sort of
you're good.
You're a high level
cleaner,
dude. Because just think of what would happen. I mean, your butt is hairy and it's skin. What would happen if you just smeared poop on your dog and then you just took this dry piece of toilet paper and wiped it off?
Dude, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
That. I get it. I get where you're coming from. It's like the whole situation is, I couldn't imagine being in that.
Dude,
I worry about it being in my own bed.
Dude, it was like and it was not a material where that would come up easily. It was like an antique off-white couch.
Not at her place.
It was her mom's antique couch, her parents' couch.
At her mom's house?
Yes, like the main couch.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
That sucks.
Yes.
What'd you do?
We tried to clean it up. I don't think it worked well. I think it was just slightly stained. I don't know if they ever asked what happened. I doubt they knew exactly what happened. Maybe they thought somebody sat there with their naked butt.
So this...
I don't know what they thought.
This poor woman's family is just living with this like faint brown mark on their couch.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, maybe they got a new couch a while after. That was about almost 10 years ago.
Not an antique. It
might have been 10 years ago.
God, that's funny.
It's ridiculous, right?
It is.
And I was young in a way that it made me more embarrassed even. Like that would not embarrass me as much now as it did back then.
But like I said, I still worry about that now in my own bed.
Yeah.
Like when my pants come down and grown-ups do what grown-ups do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always make sure I'm as clean as possible.
Well, I don't want to get too into this story, but this is extremely vulgar and it is sexual. So this is the last thing I'll tell before we're done. So if you want to cut it off now, Mom, no, if you can
listen up, Mama.
When I dated that comic, and remember this one, I'm not going to tell the whole story, dude.
God.
But she was like kind of outwardly a little nasty and wild. Well, like we did some crazy shit.
Do you want me to edit that one part out? That kind of says who it is?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
She wouldn't care about this story. But I'm not going to say her
I think everybody knows.
If she listens to it, she listens to it. I don't care.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to say anything bad about her, but this is the honest to God's truth. What happened? It doesn't matter.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Well, yeah. I mean, dude, this is the only time this has ever happened to me where anyone's ever done this. And it's not my thing. But in the moment, I was just like, I'm going to let it happen, I guess. One of our third, fourth, maybe only second time together, I came to her place and she was a little drunk and we started hooking up and she's going down on me and she starts like doing some stuff where she's playing around a little lower and like kind of towards my butt. Border. And she's kind of like licking at my taint. It's going to get vulgar, guys. And she's kind of like acting like a porn star about it, you know, like really. And she's kind of like not in like a dominant type way, but it's like a confident sort of way where you really don't want to shut it down. Like it's your second time with them. And I was a little younger. Now I think I would be more comfortable talking about it, but I didn't talk about it in the moment. She started doing some stuff and then she starts like throwing my legs up and licking deep into my butt, dude. Deep into my butt. All going crazy. Dude, she was practically fucking motorboating my ass.
Hit the quote.
The quote?
Yeah.
You know what? I know what she said.
Yeah,
and this
that's
is what I'm
talking
about.
Hit the fucking quote.
I wasn't prepared for this, dude. Like one time, the first time a girl and I ever experimented with like sucking each other's toes or something, like just to see what that felt like. I washed my fucking feet first, like to no end.
Because you knew what was coming.
Yes. If she would have wanted to do that and I could have like just washed the most possible, maybe I could have done it and not been very nervous. I'm sober as could be.
After a night.
I mean, I didn't drink it all back then or anything. So she looks up at me and I'm just like, I'm trying not to laugh, but I start thinking of Michael Scott in The Office and how he refers to how him and Jan having sex is kind of like her telling him what to do, almost like a skill. And it made me think of like being in this sort of like initiation. I don't know what, dude. Like it reminded me of that. Like I didn't know what was happening. I had never experienced anything like that. And she looks up to me. She goes, I can't even taste it. I can't even taste it as much, which means she did fucking taste it.
Yeah, and just had to make sure, like, let you know that everything was okay.
Dude. She's like, yeah, it tastes like shit, but guess what? I don't give a fuck because I'm your nasty. I'm like, hey, chill. No. And then the next time, dude. This is like, so I told you guys this, I was like, and I was worried, right? When I told you guys about this at work, there was a part of me that was genuinely worried about what was going to happen in the future, right? She even tried sticking a finger up there a little bit, a lot of bit, and then I think she could tell I wasn't into it. I got soft. I was like, I couldn't maintain. The licking didn't feel terrible. It was whatever.
I think I'd go along with it.
I've had a girl or two like kind of rub around the area, maybe put the tip of a finger, but I think they kind of got the gist that it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
I never talked about it.
I think I'd be cool. I wouldn't be cool with it. I'd be cool with the idea of trying it.
Yeah, maybe if it's lights
like,
off.
If it's like not my thing. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm not going to be on all fours with my asshole up in the air.
Yeah, I don't know how that looks.
It's probably terrible.
Yeah. I mean, if that's her thing and she really wants to do it, like, I mean, hey, I like fucking,
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
I love it.
Dude, everybody's got their thing.
Yeah,
like,
I think it tastes kind of, now that we already said it's going to get vulgar, I think an ass tastes better than a pussy sometimes. I know that sounds crazy. There's something sweet to it. It doesn't taste like shit. I don't like go digging, but there's like, I don't know. I like it. I don't know. It turns me on, dude.
I can't speak to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I legitimately, I mean, if I could, I would, but I can't. I can't.
I would never do it to just anyone, but when I'm really into a girl and she's like super hot to me, there's only been 2 people that I've been like really like, I just want to lick your fucking ass. I don't care, dude. I've never like been like that way in general, but there's been 2 people where I was just so into them. They were like pretty in a way where this is too nasty for me to get down. Like, I don't want to lick her. I don't want to get that nasty with a chick who's like a porn star everywhere she goes.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to, you never had that done? Let's try it.
Let me show you the ropes, baby.
Yeah, I like that. Like
I'm
a little
about to
pristine.
rock your world.
Yeah, a little pristine, not something that like, I love when people lick. I love my asshole being licked. Yeah, stick 2 fingers in it.
You're the third one I've done this to.
So, I mean, I like a little bit more like of a good girl in that way. Good girl gone bad.
Yeah, good girl gone bad.
But what I was going to say, oh man, what was I going to say about that?
I don't know, man. You got off on a fucking tangent.
What was right before? All right, so she said she did. Oh, this is what happened. So I was genuinely worried, right? I was like, what's going to happen? My one buddy, an older buddy of mine, my buddy Mark was like, dude, he's like, oh, hell yeah. You know, he's like, fucking, he thinks it's hilarious. He goes, pretty soon she's going to be strapping it up and driving it out. He goes, experience it, brother. He goes, I mean, he was joking. I don't think he likes that kind of shit, but he was like, fuck it. If like he just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, fuck the old dude fucking with the younger guy, hearing this hilarious story.
It probably just sounded like some porn he watches or something. Like he just thought it was cool in a way, but he was very encouraging. And I was like, I was nervous. I almost talked to her about it, but I didn't.
Gave you some stretches. He was very encouraging. Rubbed your shoulders. Said, "Here, buddy, this is what you need to do."
So our next time hanging out and hooking up, after we got done, I was like, yes, we just had normal sex. It was done. It was over with. And
thank God.
Then she fucking rolls over and opens up a drawer, dude.
Nah.
And pulls out a dildo.
For you?
I looked at her, and this is like, I had to break the ice. I was like, nah, I'm good. That's all I said. I was like, nah, I'm good. And she goes, oh, it's not for you. It's for me. She goes, I want you to, what? I was like, we were going to have it again, So I was like,
oh dude,
okay.
That's tight.
But I would, dude, that moment, because everyone had told me pretty soon she's going to be wanting to shove a dildo in your ass.
So your eyes got wide and you got scared.
Oh my God.
Your life flashed before.
Yeah, because I didn't want to break the ice. The whole last time she did it, like, dude, I had to disguise laughter and uncomfortable whatever with moans. But the problem was every time I tried covering up a laugh, because I was thinking of The Office. For real, I'm not, and it made me laugh. And then when she goes,
wait, hold on. Let's bring this back for a second.
When she was licking my butt.
When she was licking your butt, were you faking it?
I wasn't initially moaning.
So you're just going, oh yeah.
No, I didn't say words, but when I went like to laugh, I was like, oh, I had to like transfer it into a like that kind of.
Holy shit!
And then that encourages her.
Yeah,
that makes her think.
You're doing. I mean, it's like when you're going down on a girl and you start doing something good, and they start making noises and doing things. Then you're like, okay, shit, I'm going to keep doing that.
Well, once she stuck the finger in, I didn't do shit. I didn't say a word. I was like, don't fucking make a noise, dude. I was like, what is next?
You shut your fucking mouth, bro. I'm not saying shit.
Yeah, but that was it, is that I was laughing. Oh so yeah, I don't know. But so it was so much so that like, this is how uncomfortable or like how nervous I was when she whipped out the dildo. Like, it all made me uncomfortable and kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I let it go. Yeah. Like, this was me finally having to like put my foot down.
Draw the line in the sand.
I'm not taking a dildo in my butt.
I'll take a tongue, a finger, not a dilly.
Yeah. I'll let you try a tongue and a finger.
Good for
Never
you.
again.
Good for you.
Yes. So that's my getting sexual with Steve and Mike, sexual healing.
The sex
Next
corner.
week we'll have a tantric sex guest.
I thought I wanted to talk to that guy, but I think that's going to be weird.
No, he's very relatable. He's like a good dude. When I say he's actually like kind of a weird, I'm like, in a way, I'm kind of a weird DMT guy because it's like one thing I like, but I'm not like a drug guy. Like, I've never done pills. I've never really done speed, anything like that. He is a guy who used to be into drugs, overdosed several times. He has 3 times where he died and came back and has near-death experiences, 2 of which were drug overdoses. He went to jail. He got out of jail. He hasn't touched a single drug since, except for acid, because he was reading about stuff when he was in prison. And he's like a trainer, and he... I don't know. He is a very intelligent guy. He's got kind of like he's smart, well-read. I'm not saying he should be a guest. I think we should get my yoga buddy Pete on here, though. That would be a very good guest.
Good guy.
Very good. He's the guy I said plays the hang drum. Maybe he can.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that we recorded that, but yeah,
I told you about him.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's somebody that would make a great guest, and he is like a no bullshit, legitimately. What time is it? I probably need to leave.
4:23.
Yeah, I need to leave. But I'll just say this. He's like a no bullshit, like yogi type dude who knows a lot about all of these things, but he's not like crazy into zodiacs and like, the one thing he's into, I'm not sure about, where I'm like, man, I don't know. Why are you into that? Is Reiki.
Yeah. We've talked about Reiki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the one I said I would trust.
Yeah.
When it's just some girl I'm dating and she doesn't have like a single skill that she's like good at,
it's
or
just
like
something
work for
she's
anything.
into.
One day she's not into Reiki and one day she's a Reiki healer. Like, come on, shut up.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Christ. I think that was another pretty lucrative episode.
Yeah, it got going towards the end.
Yeah.
Slower start, but
that seems to be our style.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Nah, it's
people
good.
Settle in.
Oh, dude, a lot of people listen to the last episodes, the last 2.
I got a few people who told me they did, and we had normal numbers. I look at the numbers.
I was gonna say, can't you see the analytics? Because I can see that shit on Instagram.
We pretty much get, like, our first week, we usually get about 25 to 35, and then from there it creeps up to 100. And it seems like
Seriously?
a lot of. Well, yeah, we have a couple of them that have gone above 100, and.
No shit.
But it takes a little bit. I don't know if the analytics take a little bit to catch up, because it seems like we steadily get listens, but a lot of people tell me they start listening from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, like, because we were only at, maybe they started at episode 6, but they're like, I'll start from episode 1.
Yeah, but even if they listen for like 5 minutes and then turn the shit off, that still counts.
I don't know what counts. I don't know how that works.
I think as soon as you click play.
I will tell you this. I haven't clicked play on any of them since like our second episode because I listen to it through the file you send me.
Yeah.
So it's none of it's from me. I don't like rack up any clicks on anything.
Still, if we're getting 30.
The first week.
But I'm cool with that.
Yeah, but we definitely get 30 listens on an episode before we release the next. And I'm thinking those are people who listen pretty good because I know of a good 15 people who I think have listened to every episode in their completion.
Huh.
Yeah, I guess most of the people who listen then have, it's weird. I don't know how it works, but I know that many people have listened, like, personally, that many people talk to me about the episodes on and off, or when they do talk to me about it, can reference multiple episodes, have given me their opinion. Like just today, somebody said they listened to the last episode that we did, and that was like their first episode they listened to, and they were going to go back.
Cool.
And I get people who like make comments, like at the gym, someone will make a joke about something or reference something. I'm like, yeah, I listened to that. So it happens. My buddy I play guitar with, I know at least has listened to a handful, because when we hadn't released one for a little bit, he's like, yeah, I was wondering, you hadn't released one in a little bit. Like certain people do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
30.
A lady I train listens to them. Another person I've trained who, it doesn't matter. I know a good bit of people.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So awesome.
All right. That's it.
See you
later.
On me, you'll slip and you fall. You got me standing 0 feet tall. I'm just a puddle shaped like a footprint. The hero nobody called, broken, looking to fall. I got a spine shaped like a doormat. My ears have taken a beat and my voice, no one believing. If I was a monster, show you a mirror, I'd smash into you, make you feel just like you want me to, but I'm not. Now I'm being served up for dinner. You're a shark, you smell my blood, a vampire, swallowed my love, chewed me up and spit me out on the pavement. So when I stand up, I'll show you how to be right here, living the now, because you stole my past and there's nothing left worth remembering. If you walk on me, you'll slip and you fall. You got me standing 0 feet tall. I'm just a puddle shaped like a footprint. The hero nobody called, broken, looking to fall. I got a spine shaped like a doormat. My ears are taking a beat and my voice, no one believing. If I was a monster, show you a mirror, I'd smash into you, make you feel just like like you want me to, but I'm not. Now I'm being served up for dinner. You're a shark, you smell my blood, a vampire. Swallowed my love, chewed me up and spit me out on the pavement. So when I stand up, I'll show you how to be right here. Live in the now because you stole my past and there's nothing left worth remembering. My headphones came off during that, but see, I'll go back to one on, one off.
Fucking rock and roll.
Rock and roll, baby. So that's one I made a few weeks ago. Let's do, I was warming up with that one. Cool, I might fuck it up.
Let's go back to back.
Back to back. We'll just do 2 songs. That's good.
Straight to tape, no editing.
Yeah. So this one, you might know. It is the White Stripes. And it's a little bit of an upbeat one. So just give me 1 second. Fell in love with a girl, fell in love once and almost completely. She's in love with the world, but sometimes these feelings can be so misleading. She turns and says, are you alright? I said I must be fine, cause my heart's still beating. Come and kiss me by the riverside, yeah, well Bobby said it's fine, he don't consider it cheating now. Red hair with a curl, mellow roll for flavor and the eyes for peeping. Can't keep away from the girl, these 2 sides of my brain need to have a meeting. Can't think of anything to do, yeah, my left brain knows that our love is fleeting. She's just looking for something new, yeah, I've said it once before, but it bears repeating now. Can't think of anything to do, yeah, my left brain knows that our love is fleeting. She's just looking for something new, yeah, I've said it once before, but it bears repeating now. Fell in love with a girl, fell in love once and almost completely. She's in love with the world, but sometimes these feelings can be so misleading. She turns and says, are you alright? I said I must be fine, cause my heart's still beating. Come and kiss me by the riverside, yeah, well Bobby said it's fine, he don't consider it cheating now. Think of anything to do, yeah, my left brain knows that our love is fleeting. She's just looking for something new, yeah, I've said it once before, but it bears repeating now.